I have always wanted to do one of these everyday carry videos and have never really done one. And at first I didn't do one because I don't really I don't go anywhere. I work from home. I just do what I do here at home. So I almost never really go anywhere. So I don't travel a long way. I don't do any of that kind of stuff. But then I thought I do have stuff that I use every day, and it might be a little bit different than some of the things that other people use. So I figured I would do an everyday carry video for me, a 53-year-old dude who makes YouTube videos and all kinds of other stuff. So why don't we go ahead and and look at what I've got here. Maybe we'll just go from left to right here. And of course, this is my Apple Watch. Right now, I have this Nomad Titanium Black Band. This is the Apple Watch that came out with the iPhone 16 line. It's the black one, which I had been desperately hoping would happen one day. And Nomad has come up with this really incredible watch band to go along with it. This makes it super classy. And of course, I'll have links to everything that I'm talking about down in the description or linked here in the video, depending on what it is. Not everything. YouTube can't link everything for some reason. But anyway, that's what we've got here. And I really like this Apple Watch, partially because it's a little bit bigger, which makes the screen a little bit more usable for me. Plus, I like this action button where I can just press the action button and get to my workout stuff, and that matters a great deal to me. It just makes it easier. Not getting out the phone, not having to try, using a voice command or anything like that. It feels solid, and I know that some people think that the Ultra watches are a little bit overkill. However, for me, it's just the right amount of watch. It's the newest kind of watch face that Apple put out with the Apple Watch Ultra 2, and I always use my decibel meter because I listen to a lot of music and a lot of stuff throughout the day. If you've been following me at all, then you'll know that I have some moderate hearing loss, and so I try and make sure that this stays at or below 80 decibels all day, every day, and that's a very important thing to me because I think I hear things better at 80 decibels. I think that I get all the sound, and B, I know it's not going to be messing up my ears anymore. And if you didn't know this, the iPhone now has, if you're using AirPods or something like that, you can put a hearing link in your control center that'll allow you to know like what decibel level your AirPods are popping off at, and that's very useful to me as well. Next up on the list is the DJI Mic 2. I have had several of these little, sort of wireless mics, and they were always kind of like, okay, but I had to futz with them quite a lot to get decent sound out of them. And one thing that I've liked a lot about the DJI Mic 2 is that it really sounds pretty good regardless of what you do to it, and then you can bring it into your video in post and be able to work some magic quite easily to get it to sound much better. And so I also like that I have my DJI Pocket 3, Osmo Pocket 3 here, and I really like that this came paired to that. And so just straight out of the box, I had good audio for that. But I also like that you can record on this in 32-bit float recording, which I guess a quick explanation of 32-bit float is that it gives you more bandwidth, that gives you more headroom, so that the loud stuff that might clip a microphone in the past will not clip a 32-bit file, and you can be quiet or loud and have no degradation of sound when you bring stuff up or bring stuff down as appropriate. And so it's just a much more forgiving format for recording. You can also use a lavalier mic with this, or you can plug in this little dead cat and take it out. And it's got a magnet here, which is hard to get off, that allows you to clip it into your shirt, or you can clip it onto your lapel that way. It's just a very versatile, very small. In pictures, I couldn't really tell how small it was until I got it. It's a very small mic and very good. The next thing that I have, of course, is the Swiss Army knife. This is the Swiss Army. It's from Victorinox, and it's had a bunch of different names, but basically this is like the big honker, the big chonker. It's got everything that you could possibly want. It's got 2 knife blades. It's got scissors, pliers, files, saws, screwdriver, a Phillips screwdriver head. It's got a freaking magnifying glass. Here's the thing about having something like a Swiss Army knife. Now, you can go Swiss Army knife, or you can go Leatherman or something like that, but you need to have something. And this is from years of always like futzing around, and I can't find this tool or that tool, or where's my screwdriver, or did you take it somewhere? Did I leave it somewhere? I'm kind of forgetful. So I just decided that I was going to get a tool that I could keep with me, keep on my desk, take it where I was going, that was always going to have the tool that I needed in order to get some quick work done. And so this guy is that, and it's very sturdy, has a toothpick, has some kind of metal pokey thing. And really, these all have purposes. It's got some tweezers, but they're not very strong. So they're not going to get you everything that you need out of a pair of tweezers, but they'll do in a pinch, pun intended. So get yourself some kind of Leatherman Swiss Army knife and spend the money that it takes to get this thing. Now, again, link down in the description, but this one I got when it was $125, and I see on Amazon that it's on sale. But this will last me for the rest of my life. I realize that the rest of my life isn't as long as the rest of some of your lives, be that as it may. We'll just keep going this way. This is my DJI Osmo Pocket 3, and I wasn't going to get one of these. I'd had the Pocket 2. It was pretty cool, but it wasn't it wasn't life-changing. But this will do 4K, 30 frames, 24 frames, 60 frames, 25 frames for some reason. It's set at 25 frames right now for some reason. Pull it back down to 24. I'm not in Europe. But it has all kinds of different features. You can get lenses for it. It comes, if you get the creator kit, it comes with the mic, it comes with a stand, it comes with this case that has another lens. So there's a wide angle lens that comes with it. And I have a black mist filter on this, and it shoots in log format, so I can color grade a little bit easier. And I'm not very good at color grading. It'll just automatically go to portrait mode if you're doing shorts or longs. So it just automatically goes to that and switches from 4K to 3K, but 3K is just the aspect ratio. You can do all kinds of stuff with this, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to do a video sort of talking about how this has changed my creative life. Quite literally, I could run my whole channel with this camera and do a lot more than that. So it's been very, very cool. The next thing, of course, is my iPhone 16 Pro Max. I've had this since launch day. I always get the new iPhone, obviously, because I review phones on a regular basis. I have a Taurus screen protector on here that's causing some weird color stuff to happen here. But my iPhone is really my lifeline to just about anything. Helps me just sort of keep organized and focused. And I don't have a big team of people. I don't have all kinds of folks that, you know, I have a business manager. I have my wife, my daughter, uh, like, and my grandson, and that's pretty much it. So the iPhone, I- I've used Android and iPhone for a long time, interchangeably, and I think I've just finally admitted that I am an iPhone guy. Now, of course, this one has the camera button, which, while I thought initially it was a good addition to the iPhone, I have changed my mind. It's fiddly to use. Like it, I don't know. I can't hold my phone like comfortably with it. I don't see the need for the camera button. We've all trained ourselves to be able to like hit, get into the camera and then use the button that's on the screen. So I don't think we need that. I have another Nomad product on the back here. This is a Nomad sort of, I forget what they call it, but it's a case for the back, and it's MagSafe, so that's what's holding it on there. But it also has a couple of sticky tabs to keep it from sliding around. And I've been using this since the folks at Nomad sent it over. It's starting to get a nice patina on this brown. It comes sort of like the old I've like Apple leather cases used to do. They would start out sort of orange and then and then turn into a nice brown. And this is already starting to get a nice patina on it. And so I like using that. It protects the back, it protects the camera lenses, it keeps it from being sort of too off balance when it's on the desk, and I need to work with it. So I like that. The next few things I have here are pens. And if you didn't know this about me, I have led many lives over the years, and one of the lives I led was as an editor, and so pens had a huge place in my life, and I am rarely far away from a pen. These are my new favorite pens. These are Sharpie S-Gel pens. I used to love the Pilot pens that had the top on them, and they don't make them anymore. These are the best that I've found to replace them. The ink is really nice. It's very smooth. I always use a medium tip, because too fine a tip, I feel like I can't really feel the ball point under my hand. So I have a red and I have a black. I journal every day, and I also use, when I was an editor, red was the color that I used to mark up things. And I still use red pen to mark up my own writing or other writing that I'm looking at for other people or anything like that. And I just feel like it's nice to have two different colors. So if you're working on a piece of writing and you're then going to mark up that writing, having another color besides the color that's on the page is very, very helpful. Next up, I have, of course, the iPad Mini. This is the new iPad Mini, the iPad Mini 7, and I picked it up and actually got rid of my 13-inch iPad Pro, which was a much more tricked out version of the iPad. But it would just felt like too much. I'm still not 100% sold on the iPad Mini. I do a lot of writing on my iPad, and I found that it's not as easy to get into your documents and write with the iPad Mini. So I still feel like I could do better, but it has Apple Pencil Pro support, which is very good. I like the Apple Pencil Pro. I just like the fact that you can squeeze it and get to the eraser, which was always kind of like the double tap on the iPad or the Apple Pencil Pro 2 was not always. I got like arthritic finger and sad old man things. But this is great for reading. You can look at it in portrait or landscape mode, and I have the Folio, Smart Folio from Apple on here. They only had black at the Best Buy, so I got black, but this is the blue iPad mini, and I got the blue because it was the only one that they had at the at the Best Buy as well. But I do think that I'll probably end up getting a different case. I use this with Logitech MX Keys Mini to do my writing with, and then of course I use the Apple Pencil Pro to do everything else. I love reading comics on this. I love reading books on this, watching YouTube, whatever it is, browsing the web. It's a little bit better to do all those things than the phone. The phone is fine, but in the comfort of your own home, having something just a little bit bigger is a nice switch. And I feel like it's a nice balance between phone and computer. iPad mini sort of sits in there nicely, like as if this were Goldilocks, then this would be just right. And that's what I like about it. These, friends, are my AirPods Pro. Now, I've always used the AirPods Pro by choice over any other AirPods because I like the way they sound. I think the noise cancellation is awesome. I like the functionality of them. They they pretty much just, you get them out of the case, they attach to the device that you're using, and away you go. Another nice thing about them now, if you've been watching my recent videos, I did recently get diagnosed with some moderate hearing loss. I knew that it was there, but I hadn't been any place where they told me, what it was or anything like that. And so with these, they have a new FDA approved hearing aid feature. And so I've been using them as hearing aids in certain situations. I don't wear them all day, but I'll wear them when I'm watching TV because then I don't have to turn the TV so loud and blast everybody else out of the room, because I really like to hear all the little details of the sound. So I like to use them for that reason. I don't use them when I'm doing anything musically because I feel like artificial hearing with music stuff doesn't work for me. But one problem that I had with these, that I'd always had, but because I was, using them just as headphones and not as something that I was going to wear for hours at a time, the silicone ear tips always kind of bothered me. They felt okay, but they would always start to slip a little bit as I used them. I finally decided to look for a different solution, and I don't have the name of the company on the tip of my tongue, but they will be down in the description below. These are foam ear tips, and they have sort of an oval shape, and they fit in my ear oh so nicely, and it just feels like super tightly fit in there. I've been using them. They come in different colors. I got black because I like black, and I think it just makes your AirPods look a little bit different than everybody else's AirPods. But they have white, they have all kinds of different colors. Link for these will be down in the description as well. Next over, this is the most recent addition to my everyday carry because the wallet that I had up until a week or so ago is lost. I think my grandson might have taken it and put it somewhere, and we have been looking for it and we couldn't find it. So I went to Amazon and ordered this. Of course, it has an AirTag in here, and then the one card that I've replaced, which is my bank card so far, has a nice little belt clip if you want to do that. The belt clip is not removable, I don't think. This was cheap at like $20 or $25. I know that you can get a Ridge wallet for something similar, but the Ridge wallets are $100, and I can't believe that they are $75 better than this. This is the gray, but it looks green to me. It's gray. It is solid. The AirTag sort of screws in there, and away you go. And to me, once I started using these like minimal wallets, I could start carrying my wallet in a different pants pocket than my left hip pocket. It just became much easier to deal with. I got this guy, just started using it, like it a lot, and definitely recommend having an AirTag so that if you happen to have someone in your life that may or may not take things and put them places that they don't remember and you don't remember, then you can find it. I'm gonna get I'm gonna get an AirTag for my keys and my wife's keys and all those kinds of things as well. This seemed like something that I should have done a while ago that I hadn't done. So there's that. Last two things are not necessarily tech related, but they are things that I have with me every day, that I use every day. This is my pick case. I have had this Altoids tin since the late 90s, I believe. And as all old guitar players do, I just carry my picks in here. And I have picks that I have gotten from different places. I use these blue Tortex 1 millimeters. These are my picks of choice. But I also have like a little nylon D'Addario, and I have another one of the Tortex that I think this is not a 1 millimeter, but it's flexible. I don't do flexible because I do more of a flat picking style of guitar. Here's my walking. I have one Walking Dead guitar pick left. This is Michonne. I just got those. I think I got those with my son. Here's one. I don't even know where that came from. Another big nylon one. Another thicker nylon one. I don't really use the nylon ones. There's a snappiness to these Tortex and a control that you get with them that I feel I don't get with the other picks. Here's a cheapo Fender Medium. So see, it keeps falling apart. But this is something that I pick up every day. And last but not least, my car keys. And I have 2 keys to the house and to storage. And then my Lexus GX 460 key fob. I have a 2017 Lexus GX 460 that I've had for a couple of months now. I before that had a Volkswagen ID4. And I really found that like the electric car lifestyle just wasn't really for me. I live in Iowa, and some places in Iowa have really good charging ecosystems and some places don't, and where I live doesn't. And I also used to have a pickup truck, and I missed the size. So this is an SUV, but it's a V8, and it's built to be an off-road style vehicle. So it's very much like driving a truck, but it's a Lexus, and it has a nice it has a nice little it's a fancy vehicle. So this is the one and only key fob that they had. So I definitely need to get an AirTag for that. When I wear pants, I always clip my keys to my belt loop. Just have been doing that for ages and ages and ages. This is my little 1/4-inch plug that I use to plug into a little fake Marshall amp head that is where we keep our keys. And then here is a little pick carrier leather that came with my Gibson J45. And I use it to carry picks around with me. So, if I find myself needing to rock, I can rock at a moment's notice. So these are things that I use every day. I might not carry all of them with me every day, but I use them every day, and I really couldn't live without any of them at this point. So I figured I would share them with you. Again, links to everything that I talked about down in the comments below. If you want reviews or further discussion of anything that I talked about here, let me know. Most of these are creator tools. I find that, once you figure out what your tools are, then you're on your way. And this is sort of over many, many years. I have figured out what tools I need to do the work that I need to do on any given day. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Come back and see me again. All of those things. We'll have a grand old time. But until then, my name's Jason. This has been a video about my everyday carry. And until the next time, I'm out.